Hey everybody, welcome back to Oh God! Not another review show. Today we're looking at a cult classic Christmas movie that's a hit for kids as much as it is for adults. One that is sure to bring out those warm, fuzzy holiday feelings. So warm and fuzzy and wet. Wait, is that blood? Today we're looking at Silent Night, Deadly Night. Silent Night, Deadly Night was released November 9th, 1984. That's right, kiddos. This is its belated birthday celebration. It just turned 40 a little over a month ago. That's the reason why I'm watching this instead of one of the other 1,000 Christmas horror movies. My God, there are so many. Silent Night, Deadly Night was written by Paul Kamey. I say that with air quotes because Paul wrote a book called Sleigh Ride that was the inspiration for Silent Night, Deadly Night. Silent Night, Deadly Night, which is also a very hard title to say multiple times in a row in the first minute of a video. It was also directed by Charles E. Sellier. I believe that's how you pronounce the man's name, or Sellier. Either one. Let's go with that first one because it sounds fancier. Most notable thing about Charles, other than directing this movie, is that he wrote the wildly famous TV series The Life and Times of Grizzly Adams, and also owned the trademark for the name Grizzly Adams. Mr. Sellier's estate, please don't sue me for saying that name over and over again. I know you might have the rights to it still. The only expectation and hope I have is blood. Blood. And lots of it, preferably. And creative kills. It's a mid-80s slasher. After all, let's get wild, man. Let's get nuts. With that said, here's your spoiler warning, and let's get into Silent Night, Deadly Night. Here, sleep, at the bottom of hell. Your time has come to pick the road you walk in this tale. Turned, and as a coward you've learned, through sickness and health, there's only one. Now go and bite your tongue. You'll say the worst of me, with a hope they'll understand. No, they know you're just a boy, so grow up and be a man. Little baby, kicking you scream and whine. Victims pay the price eventually. The cost? Let's see. Your life. Been a Coheed and Cambria fan since they released the second stage Turbine Blade in 2002. What the hell is that got to do with anything I'm about to talk about? I just got finished watching Silent Night, Deadly Night, and if you know, you know, and if you don't, give it a little bit, you'll come to understand. My TLDR review of Silent Night, Deadly Night, sounds like I'm slurring it, I don't know if I am. Silent Night, Deadly Night, there it is. Quickie review, a solid, I give it a very solid 8 out of 10. Very solid 8 out of 10. I liked it. I enjoyed myself. It is a slow build-up to when things actually kick off, and when they kick off, it's huge and it's great. Gore, killings, creative kills, blood, titties, just everything you love about horror. It's in this movie. You just gotta sit through about 45-50 minutes of plot. Not bad plot, very relevant plot for what is about to happen to get to understand. That's what I said, right? Understand and know should have been the correct thing. Understand our killer and why he is doing things, and kinda be a little bit sympathetic for him when he goes around on a murderous rampage screaming his catchphrase. We'll get to that. We will get to that. I will show a fucking audio clip. If this gets copyrighted to hell and back, I don't care. It'll be fucking worth it. Because it is... I'm going to be quoting it forever. It is amazing. It's one word said in such a way that's like, yes! Excellent. So there's that. Solid 8 out of 10. It's a fun ride when it starts to get off the rails. You just gotta stay strapped in for about 45-50 minutes, right? And I know you're probably looking at the runtime being like, it's only like an hour and 24. That's a lot of time. It's a lot of backstory, a lot of like, oh, okay, for a movie that came out in, what'd I say, 84? Was that when this movie came out? Yeah, 84. There's a lot of like relevant subtext, kinda. There's a lot of like moments where like people are just saying like, oh, Christmas, it's now just a commercial holiday. Bah, it's not what it's supposed to be about. It's like, oh my fucking god. 30, 40 years ago? Oh my Jesus. Sorry, Jeebus. Uh-oh, whoops. Happy birthday. Early birthday, I guess. So it's like, oh my god, they were onto something in this, and like the nuns just being like, this isn't what it's supposed to be about. Capitalism! And it's like, oh my god, but it also touches on like nunnery and all that stuff. It's a good plot, right? I found myself like, oh, okay, wondering when we're gonna get to the killings and the blood and more titties. There's titties in the childhood section, not in the way you think, not in the Minecraft tuber way. I just want, like, there's adult titties, bare boobies are shown in this. There's a lot of them. Holy shit, there's a lot of them. Lots of perky titties. Nod creepily said is my stage direction. Shit, I failed it. But yeah, I love this movie, not because of the boobies, but because there's a couple scenes that are just like, oh my god, these are gonna be etched in my memory in the best way possible. Let's get into the long format review though, right? So we start this movie unexpectedly, and in a way, I can't remember a movie or anything that we've done on the show starting. We start with credits, oddly enough. So we start with credits, then we have a title card, says 1971, Utah. Like, alright. And we follow this family. They're driving through bumfuck Utah. I don't know if that's proper to say about Utah as a whole. Never been to Utah, never seen much out of Utah, though, so maybe it is just a bunch of, like, barren wastelands. I don't know. Sorry, Utahns. We're following this family. It's Billy, unnamed brother, baby brother, hot mom, and dad. Nobody gets a fucking name in this car except for Billy, and he's the main character, but we don't get names. It's just like mom, dad, brother, that's it. They're driving to see grandpa. It's like, it's a lot of driving sequence, and then boom, plot twist, Graham is in the mental hospital. Why? We don't get an explanation of that. It's just very like, alright, Graham's in the mental ward, whoops. They get there, and it turns out Graham doesn't know they're there, he can't hear them, he's actually catatonic. And then Billy asks the real question.
Why doesn't Grandpa say something?
He doesn't hear us, honey. He doesn't even know we're here.
Then what did we come for?
Or is he catatonic? Because they leave the room to talk to the doctor. The rest of the family, they say, Billy, stay with Grandpa. That's a great idea. Fuck it, right? He does, and Grandpa then comes alive and is a little psychotic. He tells Billy, don't be scared. And he starts rambling about nonsense about Santa Claus, and I simply wrote down, he's describing Krampus. He's not describing Santa, he's describing the Krampus. That's it. He's saying like, oh, you have to be super good. You gotta be super good, Billy. If you're a little bit snotty, boom, punishment. And then, like, that's the gist. The family walks back in the room. He's like, oh shit. And he pretends to be catatonic again. And then the family leaves. And it's like, okay, what the fuck is up with Grandpa? I know there's many sequels to this movie, especially number 2. I know that one for the same scene you all do as well. It's Garbage Day. Fantastic line read there. We got a lot of fantastic line reads in the series, it seems. The family leaves, and then Billy's just a little snitch. He starts snitching on Gramps. Like, Grandpa told me that Santa punishes bad kids, and like, what? I think the mom's like, what the fuck? We have to call the hospital and tell them That motherfucker's lying. So, okay, Billy snitched. They're driving home. It's pitch black out. Cut to Santa walking into a bodega. I don't think Utah has bodegas, but it's similar to a bodega, so I'll just call it a bodega. Take a shot for every bodega. But he walks into a bodega, and the clerk, this is our first instance of like, fuck capitalism type of thing, where the guy behind the counter goes, Santa, I hate this holiday. I don't hate you, but I hate the holiday because of what it means. It's all about giving and buying things. It's all consumerism. That sucks. And then Santa pulls out a Glock and robs the bodega. So that happens. He drives a pretty sweet sleigh, though. It looks like a nice cherry red convertible. Looks like it's supposed to be convertible because the hood is black, but the rest of the car is like cherry red. Looks very nice. I'm not a car guy, but it looks very nice. We cut back to the family. They're driving. Mom is sleeping. She wakes up. Dad grabs her head. I'm like, Roadhead? This is gonna be weird with the kid in the back. But no, he's just like, oh, honey, we're still a ways away. It's the middle of the night. The family finds Santa on the side of the road. Santa then tries to hijack their car. I say try. Dad pops that bitch in reverse, backs up right into a ditch. And I guess because Santa was shooting at them, shooting the windshield, I guess it's supposed to be implied that Dad got hit. Because Santa walks over to the passenger side, opens the door, grabs Mom, drags Hot Mom out of the car and tries to, be on the naughty list. He rips her top open. Titties! Good looking titties. He then slits her throat. Or it's implied because they cut to Billy in the bushes. That was my nickname back in super college. But he's like hiding in the bushes, like Gavin Rossdale's drummer. That's a reference. And then they cut back to her just being dead with like some ketchup across her neck. We do get confirmation, or we do see it later, because there's a fucking PTSD flashback scene with adult Billy. And like we see Santa pull out, like flip the switchblade and then slice her neck, and then more titties, but that's like the 15th pair that we've seen at that point in time an hour later. It's fine. It's great. But I just wrote down Dad died too, I guess, because he gets out of the car and he's just kind of just laying there. I don't know. He's just kind of dead, and then smash cut. Boom. 1974, bitch. 3 years later. St. Mary's Home for Orphaned Children. This is where the majority of the next 40 minutes takes place. So that's fun. We get class with Sister Margaret telling the kids to draw Christmas photos, draw Christmas. And she goes, we haven't seen yours yet, Billy, and bring it up. Duct tape that bitch to the blackboard. That won't leave residuals. It turns out Billy drew a bloody picture of like decapitated Santa and dead reindeer. He gets sent to the principal's office, and Mother Superior. You get the reference now? You might not. Here's my genuine reaction to that.
Young man, you go find Mother Superior and you show her what you've
Mother
done.
Superior?
March.
Oh shit. Catch the rabbit, he runs. It's a long drawn out scene where it's like, that's wrong, go to your room. He's like, yes, Mother Superior, come catch the rabbit. He runs. And he leaves, and then Mother Superior and Sister Margaret have a conversation, and it's a 3-4 minute scene, and it boils down to Sister Margaret. He needs the right help. He needs to come to grips with what happened and heal from it. Mother Superior, no, he needs rehabilitation through beatings. Oh, okay. The other kids are outside playing in the snow because it's Christmas time. Sister Margaret makes note in that scene, I believe. Like, yeah, he's good the other 11 months of the year. It's just when fucking Christmas happens, he gets a little bad. He goes naughty, right? So he's fine the other 11 months. The kids are outside. They're playing in the snow, building snowman, having snowball fights. Haha, fun in the cold. Sister Margaret goes into Billy's room and says, you know what? I think you've been in here long enough. You deserve to get some free time, right? So she leaves. He gets on his booties and his coat and his scarf, getting all bundled. And he walks out the hallway and he hears something. And it sounds like someone humping. And he walks through the hallways, he follows Echo locates the room that it's in, and he looks through the peephole, and it was someone humping. Just fucking getting in there, raw dog, just humping. More titties, by the way. We get a weird, like, cut between them fucking, him peeping, them fucking, him peeping, him having flashbacks to his mom almost getting, you know, and then he gets caught peeping, he gets fucking yeeted back by Mama Superior. The humpers get barged in on by Mother Superior, and she says, this is sinful, you know this, you dirty whatevers. And then she proceeds to beat them with a belt. Healed, Christian-style discipline. She beats them with a belt, and I'm like, I'm sure one or both of the parties might be into it. Getting slapped on the ass with a leather belt? I don't know. Not into that myself, but maybe some people are. And then we cut to outside with Billy in the snow. Mother Superior walks outside, goes, William. And Sister Margaret tries to chime in, goes, I let him out, it's fun. And Mother Superior says, what did you see? And he goes, I didn't see nothing. Did you see anything? I didn't see nothing. And she goes, good. You left your room. And she looks him dead in the eye and goes, punishment is absolute. Then she kind of side glances Sister Margaret and says, punishment is necessary. Punishment is good. And then we smash cut to Billy now getting his ass beat with that same leather belt. So everybody gets some ass beaten, and I'm sure one of the parties involved probably into it. My bet, Mother Superior. Smash cut to nighttime. Billy is having a nightmare about what happened. We get a lot of flashbacks, lots of titties. Again, he wakes up, as you do from a fucking traumatic event, nightmare, runs to the hallway, but is caught immediately by Mother Superior. He was making a lot of noise. Like, he was rustling around in the bed and stuff, and it's later, we see, like, moments later, that he's got a bunkmate, so maybe the bunkmate was like, hey, fucking, he's like, seasoned, he's having a fucking episode. So, I don't know. But they're just immediately there. The other kids are there as well, so something's up. Mama Superior, stepsis Margaret, and the children are there, so I don't know. Mother Superior then ties him to the bedpost all while he's like, don't do this. And then Sister Margaret is there, like, very concerned. And this is where I wrote down, Sister Margaret can get it. I've never been into, like, the hot, sexy nun thing. Right, maybe I just haven't met the right sexy, bad girl nun. I don't know. So when she's in her normal garb, I'm like, oh, she's cute. And then she's, like, in her nightgown, like, her long nightgown, without her headpiece on. It's like, oh, damn. All right. Shit. Sister Margaret. Thank you, sister wife. We'll get into that later, by the way. I don't know if there's a continuity issue, or if I just don't know nunnery. We'll get to it, though. This is the part where I wrote down, how much of this is about the kid? When's the killing start? Because, again, nothing really happened up to this point. It's, Santa shot the guy in the bodega, and then, did you take another shot because I said the B word? I hope you did, kids. Make sure it's non-alcoholic Budweiser. Or your beer of choice, either one. Or your spirit of choice. I don't judge, it's the holidays, get turned. It's whatever. And then he killed the mom and I guess the dad? So there's a body count of 3, we'll say, and a nice double pair of tits. There's a lot in this movie, like I said. Yeah, there's been really no action here. People have gotten action and some fucking BDSM in there, but nothing of the killing nature. And then we have a scene with Mother Superior and Sister Margaret, and they have a conversation, and it's like, I guess Billy has been good, like he's been changed, and like Margaret's like, yeah, he's good, he's better, and Mother Superior's like, we must force him to sit on Santa's lap. That's the premise of what she said, and forcing the child that's traumatized by Santa to sit on Santa's lap probably isn't the best thing for him. And guess what? It isn't, because that little motherfucker knocks that Santa out. Like, he falls back, and we cut back to him going, what the hell's wrong with that kid? And his nose is gushing blood. Billy's got an elbow or a right hook on him. I was too concerned with OBS breaking. So that's fun. The encoders were overloaded from this movie from 1984. Hell yeah. Cut back to new OBS session. That's fun. Thank God nothing fucked up. But knock on wood. We cut to Billy running and hiding as he does. He sits in a corner in his room behind a cupboard and has a mental breakdown, basically. He has a mental breakdown over Santa and being naughty. Who hasn't? Mother Superior walks in, I guess, and says his name. But it's done in such a way where it's like he looks up, goes, she goes, William, there you are, or some shit. And he looks up, and then we slow-mo and then freeze frame. It's a very weird sequence there. But then boom, smash cut. 10 years later, 1984, in the springtime. We're in a like a toy shop or something like that. Sister Margaret is talking to the owner of the shop and is like, you don't have any positions open, do you? I would love for him to get a job. And the guy's like, no, we don't have space. We just have a position open in the stock room, and we need a man, not a boy. And Sister Margaret goes, oh, okay, you don't need a boy, you need a man. And he goes, yep. And then she goes, let me introduce you to him, though. And then Billy walks in, now 18-year-old Billy. And he's a tall drink of water now. He's a big son bitch. And he's got the job. And also, subsequently, a working montage. It's weird. It's a weird thing, I guess, because it was springtime, and it's like showing him like working and like, oh, he's just a normal guy. He's a good hand. He's a very good hand. And then he's talking to his love interest. Like, he's got the hotties for this one chick. And the owner brings out this roll and like unfurls and says, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. And it's like, oh fuck, it's Christmas time. Dun dun dun. Like, oh shit. Cut to Billy being very distant, like just staring off. He gets into a confrontation with his foreman, I guess, his co-worker, but it's like the guy above him. In the montage, we see him sitting down at the desk, answering calls. Okay, but they get into an argument, and the foreman, I believe his name is Andy? Question mark. I wrote it down in my notes because we hear his name like later on, but he calls him a moon goon. He's staring up to space like a moon goon. That's fun. Billy walks out from the storage area, sees Santa, and then starts freaking out. He trips over shit, and then like kind of just like walks away, walks out, or he goes home, or so. We don't know what happens. He just kind of leaves the frame. We then cut to, you guessed it, more sex. No titties, no bare tits. We don't see any areola. It's hastily covered up with a hairy-ass man arm. But I got to thinking at this point, man, there's a lot of sex in this Christmas movie. Starting to think it isn't for kids. But it's Billy and his love interest. He's finally having something good happen to him, and then boom, plot twist dream sequence. Because he then gets stabbed in the back by Santa. So that's fun. He wakes up in a hot cold sweat, because of course, dramatic thing. Starts having a PTSD episode, crouched in the corner, and not having a great time. We then cut to the store. This is where things start to unfold and ramp up. We see, I don't know who this woman is. She seems like to be the co-owner. Maybe she's the boss's wife. I'm not entirely sure who she is. Her name is never said to my knowledge in this. So I'm just like, woman? I don't know. But she's talking to the boss man. And she says, yeah, I got a phone call from one of your employees. They broke their ankle ice skating. And the boss is like, well, call the temp agency, get a temp. And she says, yeah, the only problem with that is there's all women available at the temp agency. And you need a man for this one. Santa broke his ankle ice skating is what we learn. They need a replacement. You can guess where this is going. Billy's the replacement. And then we cut to him being Santa. They dressed him up. We had that whole moment, him just like staring at the mirror going, But then we like see him actually being Santa, and he's not good at this. There's a girl sitting on his lap. Not in the Minecraft YouTuber way. I keep saying this. And she's like kicking and like squirming. He's like, stop it. Stop it. Very low, very monotone, just stop it. I'll put in the clip here because I do a terrible impression of it.
Stop. Please stop it. What's the matter with you? Please. Stop it. Please stop it. What's the matter with you? Stop it. Stop kicking.
But then she kind of stops fidgeting. He gives her a candy cane and she leaves, and all the parents are like, he's so good at this job. He's so wonderful. We cut to his foreman, Andy. I'll just call him Andy from now on. We cut to the back, the stock room. He gets a phone call and they're like, oh yeah, no, Billy's not here. He got moved to a different department. What department? I'll give you a hint. Ho, ho, ho. And we smash cut to Sister Margaret hanging up, basically shaking in her boots. She knows things are about to get real bad. The store closes Christmas Eve. It's party time, bitch. Christmas Eve work party. Kinda, it's all the employees. Like, they had, like, chips and like, drank. It is what it is. We find out Andy is porking his love interest. Her name is Angela. Because he's got some mistletoe and he, like, puts his arm around her shoulder and, like, leads her to, like, the back section. I was like, oh shit, Billy saw that. Billy, motivation, go down. Or motivation to kill, go up. It's probably both of those. Billy's boss is the best. Simple as that. He had a drunk monologue.
Thinking about my parents.
Oh, good, good, good. That's fine. That's fine. A boy should think about his parents at Christmas. Good boy.
They're dead.
Oh, God. Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot.
For some reason, in this part, the film quality drops. For some reason, I'm watching it on Amazon, and I'm like, yeah, it's a standard definition because hi, it's a movie from 1984. I'm not expecting like, oh my god, give me the 4K. No, it's probably like 480. It looks fine. It looked fine, and then like the quality dipped to like VHS, like old VHS quality. I don't know. Then the boss tells Billy, go get him, Santa. You gotta do your job, Santa. Go get him, Santa. Oh, don't you worry, boss. He will. Hopefully, soon. We cut to Andy and Angela in the back. Like, they're now officially in the employees only section. They were kind of snogging by the door, but now they're fully in the stock room. Like, ooh, private. And he says, yeah, I got you a present. It's all the way back there. I'm just like, it's his dick in a box. And he basically says, oh, I'm sure you'll love it. Like, it's his dick. We got it, it's his dick. Billy then goes, like, he kind of snaps a little bit here. So he goes to the back, and Andy is getting handsy and really forceful. Like, you know, he's getting really like, he's getting really aggressive, and then he like rips her top open, like just like fucking unleashes them, and goes, more titties. Now I know for a fact this is not a kid's movie. Billy sees all of this. He has another PTSD episode, but this time he finally snaps. He saves Angela, rips Andy off of her. Because he was full, he had that look in his, he had lust in his eyes, brother. He rips Andy off, throws him to the side, rips down a pair of string lights, and wraps it around Andy's throat and chokes him with it. But Billy has to have superhuman strength, like Jason Voorhees levels of strength here. Because he lifts Andy up by the string lights with one hand, and then Andy's dead. Angela showers Billy with praise, starts sucking it. No, she calls him fucking crazy for some reason. Why is he crazy? He just saved you. He just saved you from, you know, and now you're dead. You and your bare titties are dead. Congrats. You got stabbed by a box cutter because you called the guy who saved you crazy. because he killed your potential, you know. I just gotta chuckle like, why is he crazy? I don't know. The boss hears like something, he goes to investigate the commotion. Claw end of a claw hammer to the brain ends his investigation rather quickly. And then Billy's now Batman because he cuts the power. I don't know why. He cuts the power, the lights go out, the phone is dead, I think. Maybe. We're getting the other lady. Again, we didn't get a name. She goes to investigate the stuff in the back. She finds the boss's dead body. She runs out. She gets on the phone. I think she makes the call. I think the call goes through. I'm not entirely sure to the cops. Not entirely sure. But Billy found an axe somewhere. He just kind of pops up going, ah, he's got an axe. He stalks her through the store while reciting, I believe it's a Christmas story, right? A Christmas Carol, one of those, like the age-old, like, story, right? That whole thing. And then he gets bamboozled. She knocks him down. Like, he sees her hat, and he jumps behind the corner, hacks down with the axe, and then she pops out from boxes, and she knocks him down. She grabs the axe. She's about to smash the front window to escape, and Billy goes, no! She goes, huh? Dumbass. He shoots her with a fucking arrow? Why a toy store has, like, real arrows? I don't know, but then again, maybe he is super strong, so maybe it's a plastic arrow. I don't know. We then get this hilarious fucking moment where Sister Margaret, because she called earlier, she's like, probably going to check up on Billy, seeing how he's doing around this time of year. She proves she's Jesus because she walks through the locked front door that we saw the boss man lock the door when he was like, it's closing time, it's over, hallelujah. He locked the front door, and we even see the other lady try to get out, and she's like, it's fucking locked. And Sister Margaret's like, I'm Jesus. And she walks through the fucking... How? What? Okay. She finds the aftermath. We smash cut to carolers, caroling, and then we go across the street to more sex in my Christmas movie. Very naughty. Very, very naughty. And more titties, obviously. It's a couple. It's Denise and no name given boyfriend. We'll call him BF, I guess. It's Denise and BF. She's babysitting. Classic. The small girl is like, I want to see Santa. And she starts walking downstairs. She's like, no. Denise is like, we're doing homework. And we have the best interaction in the movie.
Cindy, if you don't go back to bed, Santa won't come.
He's not the only one.
Denise then starts hearing jingling, and she's like, oh, I gotta go upstairs. And boyfriend's like, why? Why now? We're just about to, you know. And she's like, I hear the cat's bell. I gotta let her in. It's freezing out. So what does Denise do? She gets up, puts on her jumper, puts her bare titties away, puts on her long... No, she fucking walks up the stairs in fucking clit huggers and no shirt, bare titties out to the world on a freezing cold night. And again, there are carolers about 10 feet across the street. She's giving a free show out here. She calls for the cat. She's like, all right, fine, stay out. You'll freeze it tonight on it. Merry Christmas. And then the cat runs in, and we had Billy turning the corner, brandishing the axe from earlier, dropping the line delivery of the movie. This is something I'm going to fucking quote till my end of days.
Okay. You're on your own until morning. Merry Christmas. There you are, you bad kitty.
Punish!
Punish! It's so fucking good. Oh my god. He says it multiple times, and it's like, yes. Yes. Somebody should have told Billy in the orphanarium that Roman Greco wrestling a naked woman puts you on the naughty list, because that's all he was doing. She tries to run away, tries to get the phone. He like fucking glomps onto her back and like fucking Brock Lesnar German suplexes her ass. Like fucking Kurt Angle, fucking Chad Gable, fucking side slam. Like, motherfucker, what are you doing? He picks her up and penetrates her on a deer head that's hanging on the wall, leaving us with an honestly sick shot of him dressed as Santa and her impaled on the buck antlers. I'm gonna show it, YouTube. I'm sorry, I gotta show bare titties because this is such an amazing shot in this movie. Hats off to Charles E. Sellier. Man, he knew how to fucking set up a shot. I'm just like, wow, that's really good looking. Holy shit. I'm not talking about the, you know, like it's so good. The boyfriend gets concerned. There's a commotion. He's like, what the hell's going on? He goes up to investigate. He finds her body and then fights Billy pretty successfully. He kicks Billy's ass, like kicks him down the fucking stairs. He goes to call the police, but Billy gets back up, tries to strangle BF with a phone line, but he gets kicked right in the penis, but it does not faze him, for he must punish. Because he then picks up BF and yeets him out the second story, question mark, window to his death. I don't know how this house works. I guess it makes, I don't know. He then retrieves the axe from the wall that he implanted in there earlier. As he's walking out, the tiny child from before is like, Santa? And he stops, walks back, and turns to her, and then asks her, have you been naughty? And she goes, no. Or he's like, have you been good? And she's like, yes. Have you been good all year? And she goes, yes. And he reaches into his pocket, goes, have you been really good all year? Not naughty at all? And she goes, yes. He kneels down, pulls out his box cutter, and gives it to this tiny child. The box cutter, the bloody box cutter, the one he used to kill Angela for calling him crazy, rightfully so. Her dying because she called it not him crazy. Now he's absolutely insane. He gave this child his murder weapon. Fucking buck wild. No pun intended about the fucking deer head. Buck wild though. We gotta cut to some cops patrolling. They're on the lookout for somebody dressed as Santa. One of them asks, what would happen if we bring the chief the real Santa? And the other one replies, he's never satisfied. He'd tell us to bring him the Easter Bunny next. I just think that's a funny line. But we interrupt this horror movie with lots of titties to show you some high school drama. Two kids going, sledding. Okay, one of the kids says, look at this hill man, virgin. And the other one replies, the only one you'll ever get. The fuck does that even mean? Doesn't matter, because they're quickly interrupted by a sound in the woods. We're like, oh, it's Billy, because we saw him duck into the woods when the cops were rolling down the street. I don't think I wrote it down, but we get a great thing of the cops rolling up to a house. They see Santa, like, in the window of a child's room. Like, there he is! And they barge in, and they go upstairs, guns drawn, and Santa say, freeze! And the kid in the bed wakes up, and she looks at Santa and goes, Daddy! And the cops go, Daddy? I was like, oh, I found that funny, too. But yeah, Billy saw the cops coming, and he ducked into some bushes. Of course he does, it's his home. But like I said, high school bully drama, the rustling in the bushes was bullies. Yeah, the bullies bully, they chase off the kids, and then they go sledding. The first bully goes down, and then the second bully on his way down is introduced to Billy bullying. He chops the fucking guy's head off, yelling, punish! Like, yes, but lifeblood, thank you. We cut to the next day. It's now morning. Police department, Sister Margaret is sleeping on a bench in a busy police department on Christmas morning. Somehow, she's fast asleep. This is where I noticed she has a wedding band on. I thought you can't be a nun if you're married. I thought that was like the whole thing about being in a nunnery, a convent. Is that what it is? One of those is accurate. I'm not sure if I'm just talking out of my ass about the whole marriage thing, but she's very clearly got like what, I don't know. It is what it is. Her and the police chief discuss Billy's next move, and they go, oh fuck, we know it. Cut to the orphanarium, because of course, there's unfinished business with Mother Superior. We cut to them opening presents on Christmas, and we get this whole thing with her going like, they're not even listening to me, they're too into their consumerism. And then we cut to one of the kids upstairs. with her dolly on the phone, and she leaves the stupid child left the receiver off the hook, so a phone call could not get to the orphanarium. And then we had, boom, baby, it's time. Showdown at the orphanarium. The cops that we've been following show up. They see Santa and like, Santa, stop! No response. Bam, bam, bam. They blow this motherfucker away, shooting him dead. Goes over the radio that we found Santa. Santa's been shot dead at the orphanarium. And Sister Margaret is like, oh man. And the police chief's like, I'm sorry, Sister Margaret, had to be done. And then we get dispatch saying, there's been a mistake. The identity of the dead Santa does not match the description. Whoops. And Sister Margaret goes, they shot Father Nathaniel, or what the fuck his name is. And the dispatch goes, yeah, he wasn't following any of our orders. Our officers told him to stop and freeze. He didn't listen. And Sister Margaret goes,
Barnes wanted the guy to stop, Captain. He didn't respond.
Of course not. He's deaf. He couldn't hear it.
I'm just like, oh my god. This turned into a black comedy really quickly. The cop gets scalded by his Mother Superior. She says, okay, there's a threat coming. Priority 1, protect the children. And he goes, that's what I'm here to do. And she says, yeah, since you showed up, you've protected nothing. You have only harmed. I'm like, oh, fuck, get him, Mother Superior. He then is like, I'm gonna check the grounds, make sure nobody got in. She's like, nobody can get in. Nobody can get in that's not supposed to be here. Okay, and then we get intermittent cuts between him checking the grounds and Mother Superior saying, we have to get their minds off of this. So we have to calm them down. So they start singing Deck the Halls. Festive. We then have showdown at the orphanarium. But for real this time. The cop walks behind, sees a shed door open. He goes to check it out. We're led to believe that Billy tricked the cop into going into the boiler room, which is down the stairs in the shed, which is outside away from the orphanarium, but is not connected to the orphanarium. I thought, oh, we're gonna find that he's in the boiler, and the boiler is a secret passage to the basement of the orphanarium. He's gonna go through the basement. No. Cop walks up the stairs going, oh, nothing here, and punish! Cop gets an axe to the gut for his transgressions against Santa. Billy then does the most heinous kill yet. He decapitates the snowman. And then we get the nun inside and Mother Superior going, no, don't do that! A stupid fucking child opens the door for Billy. He walks in. We get this intense standoff of Mother Superior saying, kids, get back. Get away from him. Get back. And Billy takes his axe from behind his back. He's got it behind his back. He takes it out, starts to like approach her with it. She keeps yelling at him, there is no Santa Claus. There is no Santa Claus, which we know is a lie. We've seen many of him in this movie alone, so of course there is something known as Santa Claus. He raises his axe in slow motion. It's weird because him raising his axe to strike her down is in slow motion, but she is also at the same time making peace with her impending demise, but it's normal speed. It's very weird. Then we hear gunshots. Billy gets shot in the back by the sheriff. He falls to the floor. Billy's dying words. He looks at the children, says, you're safe now. Santa is gone. Blech. He's dead. He is dead. We cut to a random sequel baiting child.
Naughty.
And then credits. Overall, like I said before, I like this movie. It's a cult classic for a very good reason. It perfectly encapsulates the 80s horror feel, right? There's a lot of murder, there's a lot of blood, there's a lot of sex. It's just what the genre was full of at that time. You look at Nightmare on Elm Street, you look at Friday the 13th. Not so much Halloween with the whole like sex thing and titties, but the biggest movies at that time were Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street, which is all, especially Friday the 13th, is all about underage kids having sex and titties. So it perfectly encapsulates that. There's a lot of creative kills, which is what I wanted. I want like, all right, not just like I stab you and then I'm running to the next person, stab, 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 running to the next person. I want creative kills out of my I guess we'll call it a B tier. It's not like a prime movie. It is a cult classic, right? Everybody refers to it as a cult classic, so that's what it is. It's a B tier movie, right? In terms of like how big it is. But I think it stands up very well. Watching it in 2024, 40 years after it was released, almost to the day, it holds up incredibly well. And again, the whole like a lot of people going like, "Oh man, fucking consumerism." That's not what Christmas is. Like, oh my god, they were fucking ahead of the times. Homeboy who wrote it with the Paul Kamey, like the guy who wrote the original book that this is based off of, or was the inspiration for this movie. He was ahead of his time, man, if that's what's in the book. I don't know if that's just like the screenwriter adapting things and like adding his own shtick to it. But it had creative kills, there was lots of blood, lots of boobs. It was, my opinion, a quintessential mid-80s slasher. It's good. It's really good. But that will conclude this episode of Ognars. Let me know what you thought about today's feature presentation. If you seen it and you enjoyed it or you didn't enjoy it, let me know. And until our next available showtime, goodbye.
Let's all go to the lobby. Go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a